Welcome to the Feelings Over Facts podcast. I'm your host, Zach Simmons. I'm here with my co-host, DJ. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Outstanding.
That's wonderful.
How are you feeling, sir?
Well, if I was any better, I'd be you. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, dang. High compliment, I think.
Oh, yeah. We are back with episode 2 of the Feelings Over Facts podcast. Here to bring all of our takes and all of our opinions on all of the sports. So we're going to get right in to what we have on the schedule for today.
We're going to finish the schedule today, too.
Yes. We're actually going to try to get to all of our topics and not just spend an hour doing draft stuff. But, you know, I don't regret it. I think it was a great time.
I don't. Hey. You know?
All right. So today, DJ, we're going to be talking about our opinions on the draft, kind of a draft recap, talking about a few of our picks that we thought were the most surprising, a few of the winners and losers of the draft, because every draft has winners and losers. Not everybody's a winner out here. So participation trophies.
No. This ain't Little League, baby.
Exactly.
Big time. Big time.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to be going through some NFL futures, talking about the divisions, which teams we think are kind of set up at this current moment here in May to win their division, who we see as the best team in their division right now. And then we'll finish up with a little bit of talk about the NBA playoffs, our reaction to what has happened so far, talking about what we think will potentially happen the rest of the playoffs, as I am sitting here with my eyes in view of Philadelphia versus Boston. Boston with a 6-point lead at the current moment near the end of the second quarter. So we'll end with talking a little bit about that. And then we'll obviously end with our feelings of the week. And yeah, I say we get stuck right into it. So we'll go ahead and start with our most surprising picks of the first round. So DJ, what player or team were you most surprised with their pick in the NFL draft?
I think the first and obvious pick that I think caught everybody off guard for me, and I don't think that it's that far off of based on talent wise. I think he's a first rounder, but I do think that they went and got him a little earlier than they needed to. But maybe they fell in love with the guy. It didn't really matter. I mean, you go get your guy when you want to. So, Jahmyr Gibbs, running back out of Alabama, big fan of his. I think he fits the prototype of what an NFL running back is now. Can run through the tackles, hits all the holes, great change of pace, but also can catch the ball out of the backfield. I like him a lot. I am biased, but I'm not being at this moment. He I do think that it was a little bit of a reach. I think they could have gotten him with their second pick. I think they could have gotten something maybe I think that they could hit another position of need earlier, maybe even corner or something. But if the
They
guys
did
on the
have to take
board,
him at 12, that's for sure. 12, I
no,
think,
yeah,
was too early.
it was too early, and I completely agree with that. But like if you follow the board, and that's what every GM says, you follow your board. If you do, you can't. You're never wrong, basically. Um,
Yeah, until they start playing.
and all NFL GMs are elitists compared to all us sports fans because we all have our opinions. But a
Right.
GM, I'm better than you in picking this. So they like Gibbs. They went after him. They're
They get
excited. They
paid
were
for
all
their
like,
opinions, so.
they do. Well, that's true. They also get fired for doing dumb stuff. I don't think this is a dumb to pick because I do
Fair.
like him. But like you said, maybe he has an injury history, or like an injury history coming up. Yeah, you never know. It's the ultimate gamble.
They got their guy. They were if you saw the video of their draft room, whenever they picked him, they were so excited. They were pounding on the table. They were
L-
flipping chairs and tables.
Literally,
Dan Campbell, I think, RKO'd a man. Like, they
their
were excited.
their GM, I think, almost punched a hole through the table. He was so
I
excited.
was scared for other people in the room.
I was scared for the owner. The I don't know her name, but I know her last name's Ford. Uh,
Yeah.
she was like her face was
Yeah.
just shocked, like, oh gosh. He's like, and like if you watch, there's video of it on Twitter. He literally was like, I promise I wasn't gonna do that this year, but I did it anyway. I was like, okay. I mean, maybe they think they got another guy who can bite kneecaps.
Maybe. That sounds like a
That's their
Dan
kind of
Campbell
guy.
guy.
It is a Dan
Yeah.
Campbell guy.
If you heard the interviews of Dan Campbell before the draft, he said there were maybe 4 to 5 guys in the draft that had it. He didn't say what it was, but he said there were 4 to 5 that had it. So if they were reacting like that, I think Jamar Gibbs had it. So they got him. I think that was definitely a surprising pick. I cannot disagree with you on that. But some people were comparing him to Alvin Kamara. So if he
Now,
ends up being that good, I guess you can justify it, but still think they could have got him later. So that was why it was surprising.
I mean, Alvin Kamara was a third round pick. So I mean,
Right.
there's
Yeah.
a little more
It's a bit
pressure
more
on
at
Gibbs.
risk for the GM with this one, but
Yeah,
uh, but hey, they got him.
they
So,
did. They got their guy.
but yeah, for sure surprising. My most surprising pick was number 25, the Buffalo Bills, Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. Obviously, we talked about Mayer and Kincaid in our last episode. We talked about how much we liked them as prospects. And not that I was surprised that Kincaid went in the first round, because I think he's definitely caliber of doing that. But what I'm most surprised about is that not only did the Buffalo Bills take him, but they traded up to do so. And I'm less surprised by the trade up because they traded up 2 picks from 27 to 25 to get him, jumping the Dallas Cowboys. So they must have had some sort of intel that the Dallas Cowboys wanted Kincaid, because obviously the Cowboys were in the tight end market because they took Shoemaker. I think with their next pick. I think that was their next pick. They took him in the second round. Pretty sure, right?
I think so, but their next pick was that defensive tackle from Michigan, Miles Smith.
The
Are
Mozzie
you talking
Smith.
about?
That was
Yes,
their first pick. I'm talking
yes,
about the second round pick. Yeah, the Cowboys took Shoemaker. So they were obviously
yeah,
in the tight end market.
yes.
But I am surprised that the Bills took Kincaid after they just paid Dawson Knox and made him, I think, a top 5 paid tight end in the NFL for Dawson Knox. I think it's either like 5 or 6. But I know that they just, I don't know if you can confirm if they paid him that much, but I'm pretty sure it was that much. But they did it just last offseason. So I'm surprised that the Bills went right back into the tight end market after paying Dawson Knox. And I can understand that it's kind of like a win now move a little bit with getting Josh Allen another weapon. Um, but yeah, that pick was very surprising to me.
To confirm, Dawson Knox did sign a 4-year, $52 million contract extension. 31.2 million guaranteed. I think he dealt with some injury problems last year. Also, he went through hell last year with his brother passing away tragically.
Yeah.
But I do agree that it was kind of shocking. But maybe they want to do a two tight end set. I mean, Kincaid can honestly line up outside, and they'll put a linebacker out there, maybe, or
Oh,
even
I
maybe
don't
hit the
hate
slot.
the player pick. I just don't understand paying Dawson Knox all that money and then taking Kincaid in the first round.
I just
That
think
I
it's
didn't
hilarious that
understand.
Dallas got cock blocked. That's what I think is hilarious because they definitely did. Every
They did. They
Cowboys
wanted
fan
Kincaid for sure.
I've talked to, a couple Cowboys fans, they were like, "That was our guy. Like that's who I wanted us to take." And I think Jerry wanted it too because Jerry likes that sexy pick.
He does.
So, and for them, since Dalton Schultz isn't there anymore, so it's like they kind of pigeonholed themselves and made it very obvious. Hey, we're going to get tight end here. Um, but obviously Buffalo had other plans, which I think is hilarious. Like you said, I do think it's a win now move. But they've been in win now mode for years,
Yeah.
and maybe they're just trying to get a different look, make it to where it's a bad example, but like the Patriots with Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. Once again, bad example, terrible example, horrible.
Yeah.
But can't deny the football facts that the two of them on the field together were
It did
insane.
work on the field.
It
That is
worked great on the
undeniable.
field. Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah, for sure. So maybe, maybe they'll try to be maybe they'll be trying to do that. I'm not quite sure what they've got up their sleeves with their two tight end sets, but that pick for sure surprised me. Um, so let's go ahead and move right along to who we saw as some of our winners and losers of the draft. So I'm going to go ahead and kick us off with who I foresaw as my winner of the draft, or one. I think there's a few teams that did well. There's a couple teams that did great. But this team I think is a sneaky winner because everyone is really critiquing their draft. But I think there's a take that everyone's missing that I'm going to unveil here on the Feelings Over Facts podcast. So subscribe,
Insider info,
tune in.
insider info.
Their takes you can only get here. So one of my winners of the draft is the Detroit Lions. So I know what you're all thinking. Why would they take the Detroit? Why would you say the Detroit Lions were a winner? They just took a running back at 12. DJ just had him as his most surprising pick. So here's the take, and DJ, I want to hear your thoughts on this. So me and DJ love to play this game Catan, and in Catan, getting on the resources that aren't readily available, on the resources that are hard to get, is a big thing. And I think the Lions, with taking running back, outside linebacker, and safety with three of their first three picks, is what they're doing here. They They know that other teams, if you search draft capital, analytics, anything like that, teams don't see the value in taking running back, outside linebacker, and safety high in the draft because those aren't three of what they think are important positions in football. And that could be correct. Most likely is. So I think that the Lions
You
are
got a
trying
good
to
feeling about it.
pigeonhole those positions by taking running back, outside linebacker, safety near the top of the draft so that they can get elite level players at those positions while the other teams are trying to draft them later in the draft, and some of the better players like in round 3 or 4 that teams have already taken, like a tackle, a quarterback, a receiver, and they're able to get their kind of their pick of the litter with those players because they had already taken some of the less desirable positions near the top of the board. So that's why I think Detroit could be a sneaky winner in this draft.
That is a take. Uh, I don't disagree with the aspect of, hey, go get your guy and, if you like it, go for it kind of thing. That's not, obviously, you know, draft experts aren't GMs and they don't run football teams. They just look at what teams' needs are and just pigeonhole, hey, this could be a good spot for him. Or, hey, this guy fits this guy's scheme. So it's not an exact science. Um, I agree with you that safety's not a high pick. Running backs, I mean, Mel Kiper Jr. pretty much goes insane anytime a running back's taken first. So does Parker Campbell. Shout out Parker. Uh,
Shout out Parker.
uh, uh, but
Oh, they're cheering for Parker.
oh
Hey,
my God, yeah. Uh, I the outside linebacker, I will agree with you when it comes to a 4-3 defense. When it's a 3-4, obviously pass rusher is an outside linebacker. Different thing. That's an edge rusher. Clarifying. Because I knew what you
right.
meant.
Jack Campbell's not a pass rusher per
He
se,
is
though. He's a
not.
pure linebacker.
He is a linebacker. So I don't disagree that I think that it wasn't a bad decision. Also, them getting Brian Branch in the second round, I think he was a borderline first round pick. Them picking him up later. Also, If
He's
you're looking
also
at,
could be a corner, I guess technically.
he's going to be he's an extension of another linebacker. That's what he is. He's a box safety.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't go in the first round. Because let's be honest, look at the last couple box safeties that went in the first round: Jamal Adams, uh, Jonathan Abrams.
I was
Jonathan
about to
Abrams,
say Abrams, right?
yeah, he doesn't even play for the Raiders anymore. He plays for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
He might not even be there anymore. But if you're looking at the whole draft as a list, and I think that's what we're doing here, uh, I do like the Lions picks because I think they got good value and they went and got their guys when they wanted to. Another sneaky pick that we haven't even talked about that could be great in the future, Hendon Hooker. I think
Yep,
Hendon Hooker
for
has a
sure.
chance
I was gonna
to.
touch on him as well.
I figured you were. I beat you to it. I'm sorry, but and then they went and hit a line and they went and hit tight end, which is another need that they needed because a needed and needed. Good
I
lord.
love Laporta. I
Yeah,
think
but
he's gonna be a stud.
you got rid of an Iowa tight end and went and drafted another one.
Yeah.
Love that because
It's a
Iowa is tight end you.
it's a
That's what
factory. Tight end
that's
factory at this point.
that is what it is. It is, and it all started with one man. Who was the first? You know, you have to know it. He's a Colt.
Dallas Clark.
That a baby.
Woo!
Uh,
Took me a second, but we got there.
We're here. We've
We
made the
got
trip.
there. Now they're cheering
Uh,
for me. Woo!
But overall, I like. It's not a bad one. And I think people are going to criticize those first two picks, but if they work out, who cares? Who cares? Who cares when you got drafted? Who cares? Like if you work out, you work out. Cool. And I
I
like
agree.
their team as a whole. They've done a really good job drafting the last couple drafts. Who's to say that they're not just on playing 3D chess when everybody's playing 2D checkers?
That's my take, man. They're getting the value where it's there. All right, DJ, who was one of your winners of the draft?
So I feel like you can go multiple. There's multiple teams that are like you said are kind of up there for hey, this was a good draft for them, or hey, like I was originally going to go with the Falcons because I really liked the Bijan Robinson pick. I thought that he was kind of what they needed in that offense. You need a legitimate bell cow running back, and I think that's what they have now. I'm actually going to change it to the Arizona Cardinals, and it's only because of this reason. Uh, One, they got a good left. They got probably the best ready left tackle, meaning like body ready. Like he's got all the intangibles. He's got the physique. He's probably that number one tackle for a reason.
Right.
Um,
Talking about Paris Johnson.
Paris Johnson from Ohio State. Uh,
Yep.
but what I liked about their draft the most is for next year's draft. Uh,
Yeah, I don't
Arizona
think people
Cardinals
realize how much value the Cardinals got in this draft.
they got a lot of. They are in a good spot. They got picks from the Texans. They got picks from the Titans. They have set themselves up very nicely for next year. They might not even have that good of a year because Kyler Murray's not going to come back until halfway through the year anyway. So
Yeah.
there's a high chance they have some big picks or higher up picks next year. I think they have set themselves up magnificently, and it's not even necessarily who they have drafted this year. Now, going back to like kind of contradicting myself, I do like the BJ Ojolari pick, brother to Aziz Ojolari who plays on the Giants
Yeah.
at LSU. I think that he had a lot of upside, and I was a fan. Uh, Michael Wilson, decent receiver. They needed to add another guy. They lost Calvin Ridley, but I think they have done a good job of that Calvin Ridley. Wrong team. Good lord. Uh,
I was about to say. Who we
whoops.
talking about now?
I don't know. Uh, they've done a good job of they added another receiver to that receiving core that was
Yeah.
very solid after they lost Christian Kirk. There we
Christian
go.
Kirk. There it
Christian
is.
Kirk last year. Now we're on the right bird team.
Yep, we're getting there.
It's live, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize.
Do it all in one take.
Yeah,
We're not editing anything out. Nobody's got time.
I'm not perfect. It's okay. But I think it was a solid draft. I'm not saying that all the players they got are big hits, and I couldn't tell you a whole lot out of their lower picks of, oh hey, I like that guy. He's got a chance to be really good. I don't know. But I like their first two picks, and I think they set themselves up very nicely in the next couple years. So here we'll see what happens. But their new GM who came from the Titans, Austin Fort, I think is his name, uh,
Mhm.
set his team up very nicely for the future.
Yeah, for sure. They have a pretty bad team, honestly.
They do. They have a
And I
lot of
thought
holes
this
in their
more.
team.
I thought this more so before Hopkins kind of announced that he was coming back. But they have potential if they're bad enough. They could, and the Texans are bad enough because I know the Texans are going to be bad. Um, they could have the first and the second pick next year. It's potentially there. They could have it.
They could. Uh, let's slow up. Let's pump the brakes on the Texans though. Little
Yeah,
teaser for
sure.
later.
Well, that actually leads me right into my first loser of the draft, and that is the Houston Texans. So a lot of people were praising the Texans for being aggressive and trading away their next year's first round pick, the pick that we were just talking about with the Cardinals, to go up and get Will Anderson at 3. But they gave up so much to get Will Anderson. And I think that is just way too much to give up to go up and get a pass rusher. Now, obviously, they think he's an elite level NFL pass rusher, and if he ends up being an elite level NFL pass rusher, like a Bosa type, or a Micah Parsons or something like that, then obviously I can see a world where this trade works out for them. But giving up that much to go up and not get a quarterback, I think leads them potentially in a world of hurt. Because if you've mortgaged your entire future on these two guys, pretty much, they've used a lot of draft capital to get, because you have to wrap CJ Stroud into that as well. Because if they didn't take CJ Stroud at 2, I think that, or let me rephrase, they wouldn't have Will Anderson. Obviously, they wouldn't have both of them if they took Will Anderson at 2. I think they wanted to take Will Anderson at 2. I think that was reported, and that's what they wanted to do. Um, and they knew the Titans wanted to come up to 3 to get CJ Stroud. So they took CJ Stroud at 2 so that nobody would trade to 3. And then they traded to 3 to get Will Anderson. And it gave up a boatload to get him. So I think that they mortgaged a lot of their future on two guys that I am, at least CJ Stroud, not super sold on. I think Will Anderson's going to be very good. Um, but yeah, what are your opinions on me picking them as potentially a loser of this draft? Me, or the Texans draft in general.
The Texans draft in general. So I think they went and got two guys that could be cornerstones for their team. I think that they did a really good job in the second round getting a good center prospect from that Penn State. I like him a lot. Juice Suggs, I think is his name. Very
Yeah,
solid. Everybody talked very highly of him. Uh, I'll be honest, I don't know much about center. It's okay. Uh,
yeah, they hiked the
uh,
guy.
they do. that's that's pretty
After
pretty
that,
important to know.
after
I know
that,
that.
just go off of him.
Yes. uh, but it is a lot to mortgage for two players. But if they hit, it hits. Uh,
Yeah,
this is what gets people fired, though. Like I'm not. Didn't,
aggressive
I'm.
moves like this that don't work out
You're on.
is what gets GMs fired for sure.
It is. I liked Stroud. I would have been okay if he was a Titan. Uh, I think he would have fit. But at the same time, I think they did it because, well, honestly, this feeds into my loser.
Perfect, dude. We're killing the segues.
We are killing the segue. Uh, my loser is the Tennessee Titans, and
Oh my god, that's your team though, DJ.
that's my team. Uh, I hit on this off air, but I'm going to say it again. I don't mind the picks by the Titans. I do mind the way that we went through this draft process. I think that we went Our GM, first GM, Rand Carthon, first time GM Rand Carthon came out. We're not doing business publicly. We're not going to say anything. Ever since then, oh, the Titans might move up to 3. Oh, they might move up to 3 and get D Hopkins. Oh, Titans are going after. They fell in love with one quarterback. I wonder who it is. Everybody knew who it was. Everybody knew. Everybody knew, including your division rival, the Houston Texans. And what happened? They went and like, you know what? Let's screw with the Titans real quick. Let's take C.J. Stroud and then call the Cardinals because they know that they're trying to trade back for draft capital. And it worked. And they traded because they wanted the draft capital. And look what happened. They went and got the guy that you wanted, and then you backed out, and then they took your spot and went to 3 and got the guy they originally wanted anyway. So literally, the Texans gave us a big old middle finger and said, "Screw you! You ain't gonna give us the Oilers jerseys, so we're gonna take your quarterback."
This is all over the jerseys.
It is not really. That actually might be for the fans. I don't know about the organization. Overall, I think the Titans. It might be. I honestly don't know. The Titans draft. I don't mind any of the picks because obviously I'm not a fortune teller. Did I love the Will Levis pick? No. Did I love that we traded up?
Levis time in Nashville.
Shut up. Did I love that we went and traded 8 picks? Was it 8 picks at 9, whatever, how many picks it was to go get Will Levis in the second round? No, I didn't love it. Apparently, according to Daniel Jeremiah,
41 to 33, 32. Yeah. No, 33. Because Steelers made their pick. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Joey Porter Jr. That's who it was.
Yep.
Did I love that we did that? No. Did I love that we don't have a 3rd next year? And we don't have a 5th next year? And we still have massive holes and we're still trying to rebuild but be competitive? No. Did I love that we took a running back that has no ACL and has arthritis in his knees already? No. Did I love that we didn't take a freaking receiver until the 7th round? No. I don't love it, but we're here.
Things that you don't love.
Here's the thing. I don't mind the Peter Skoronski pick. I know people are like, why would you take a guard this early? Yes, I get it. He's not great guard-wise. He's not a great tackle prospect just because his arms are too short. But you know what? Hey, if he works out, he works out. If he's freaking healthy and he's a first-round pick for the Titans and we sign him to a second contract, I'll be over the moon. Because recently, we can't do that ever since Jeffrey Simmons.
That's a dub when it comes to Titans first pick.
Big old dub. You will not hear me complain once. I'll be the biggest Peter Skoronski fan of all time. But when it comes to...
He's a likable guy, if you've seen...
He is. He's kind of awkward. I kind of noticed the awkwardness about him.
He is.
But he is. But you know
awkward in a likable way.
He is. But also, offensive linemen are kind of bizarre people in general.
It's true.
They are. That's every single NFL locker room on every other podcast when they have NFL players say that offensive linemen beat to their own drum.
It's weird being that large of a human.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. So.
But here's another. So giving up on Malik Willis, I don't really care. I mean,
he was a 3rd round pick.
He's a 3rd round pick.
Having a 3rd round QB that has high upside and you miss, like, it's not that big of a deal in my opinion.
It's not. And now I think that the fact that we were willing to try and trade back into the first round and take Will Levis is showing that, like, hey, they have more faith in this guy than I do. Think there was a disconnect between J-Rob and Vrabel, and Vrabel's the only one still there. So now he was like, hey, go give me my quarterback. And that's what they did. Now, Vrabel saying that Will Levis in 2021 and Will Levis in 2022 were completely different people because he's hurt. I wasn't blown away with him in 2021 either. You can't beat out Clifford at Penn State, so you go to Kentucky.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
If you watch some of his plays at Kentucky, though, he has the arm to make it in the NFL, but the big question mark with him is his decision making.
Yes.
If they can get him making the right decisions, make the offense in a way that is simple for him to decipher what he needs to do, I think it can work because he's got the arm.
Mel Kiper's ready to crown him, but you know the last person he was ready to crown that got drafted at the beginning of the second round was?
Was it Jimmy Clausen?
It was thank God you remember that. Jeez. Yeah, and you remember how great Jimmy Clausen was.
Yes.
Who got drafted right after that? Who did the Panthers take right after they took Jimmy Clausen? Can you go 2 for 2, Zachary?
Panthers. I'm not very good at Panthers quarterback knowledge.
Yes, you are.
Um.
It's the only one that matters.
Oh, it was in a different draft.
Yes.
Cam Newton.
Yes. Number
Boom.
one overall. You want to know why? Because Jimmy Clausen sucked.
Yeah.
They got him number one overall. So, I mean, hey,
But I mean, the Cardinals did the same thing. They took Rosen. He didn't work out. Very next draft, they take Murray, and I guess you could say Murray hasn't worked out either, but he's been much better than Rosen.
gave him
He's
a second.
definitely
Give him a second contract.
caliber of being a starting quarterback in the NFL. So maybe it'll work out for the Titans. It's a good track record with
God,
taking
I
a
hope
quarterback
so. I'm gonna be so depressed.
right after taking one the year before. So that's fair. I
If
can't
not,
really
then we're just
disagree
gonna
with
keep
you
we're
on
gonna
your
keep doing it until we get it right.
loser
Apparently.
team.
Shut up. This is not a time for attacking. This is a time for grieving in a way. Even the season hasn't even started yet. I don't even know why we're grieving. We just out here.
Yeah. Hey, he's a character. I'm rooting for him. I think it would be cool if everyone was hating on him come this draft process. Nobody in the Titans fan base seems excited they drafted him and he
Not at
works out. That would be, he's got a chip on his shoulder. His own team doesn't really even seem to believe in him. Well, I guess his team might.
The team
GM and
itself
coach
and the
does.
organization
The
does,
fans
yes.
do not.
Definitely not.
They do not.
Oh my God. Can I just go hold on a second? I'm gonna pop off a little bit here. For
No,
every
man,
single
dude.
Titans fan
Go for
that
it.
said, I'd rather have Hendon Hooker, I'm fine with that. But then you lose your credibility and your right to complain when you said, I'd rather even Stetson Bennett. Shut up, dude.
Yeah,
No.
those are
Shut up.
not even
No.
not
No.
even
If
comparable.
you say Stetson Bennett is a legitimate quarterback option in the NFL, you are either high or you got dropped on your head too many times when you were a little kid. And you need to go back to the backwoods and go hang out on your tractor because I don't give a crap just because you watch SEC football and you think you know something.
That's fair. I was surprised that Stetson Bennett even got drafted. Like I thought he was an undrafted type of dude. So
He went to the
I was
Rams.
very
So
surprised that he got drafted. Yeah, Rams in the 4th round. So that was kind of surprising to me.
it was.
But yeah, I think Hendon Hooker obviously much better prospect than Stetson Bennett. If Hendon Hooker didn't tear his ACL,
He probably would have
he
been a
may
second.
he may have even gone ahead of Anthony Richardson for all we know. He was that good of a project.
I don't know about it because people don't
Prospect.
love that he's 25.
Yeah, but Stetson
See,
Bennett's
Hendon Hooker
100
different.
years old.
Hendon Hooker's over on this side, but you gonna say Stetson Bennett? Shut up. Just shut up. I don't even care if Stetson Bennett works out in the NFL. I will go to the grave saying that he ain't gonna work out.
There you go.
Ugh.
Well, jot it down now. Put it on DJ's take board. We need to get you a board hanging behind you right there. So whenever you go on one of these rants, you can just stand up, write down Hendon Hooker greater than Stetson Bennett.
That's not a hot take. That's just obvious.
There you go. Well,
I'm not
apparently
even a
some
Vols
people.
fan.
There you go. All right. So DJ, look, well, first off, let me say that was our draft recap segment. We killed that segment. That was 10 out of 10. Way to go, us. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Room for improvement. You can always improve.
We always striving for greatness.
Exactly. So we have our transition sound.
Oh, it got epic.
So we're moving into the next segment.
Whoa.
Oh, played it again. No.
Oh, God. 3 times.
I'm new to the soundboard, all right? All right, we're back. So now we're going to talk about our NFL, a little bit of a futures segment. So we're going to go through, we're already at the 34-minute mark, but, no rush. Just giving us a time marker. We're going to go ahead and jump right into our NFL futures. We're going to talk about each division and who we think potentially could be the best, win that division, who we currently see at the moment is the best team in the division, meaning who we see could potentially win that division.
Basically,
so
our favorites
DJ,
in the division in May when it doesn't give a flying you know what, because
exactly.
it's May and potential in May means jack crap when it comes to football.
Exactly. All right. Let's dive right into it. Where do you want to start, TJ? I'll let you
I
pick
say
the what you want to pick the you want to pick the conference we
I'm
started?
picking. We're going NFC first.
NFC. All right, we're going to start with the NFC North. Start at the top.
I
So
see
the
what you did there.
team,
Nice.
yeah, exactly. The team that jumps right out at me, and it's a team that we just talked about, is obviously the Lions.
One pride.
So Dan Campbell, yes, sir. So the Bears, or let's start with the Packers. The Packers just gave Jordan Love a contract today, and we have no evidence that he is going to be any kind of a good quarterback in the NFL. So we'll have to. It's kind of a wait and see on the Packers. They don't really have that great of weapons. They have an aging Aaron Jones, not great of weapons. So we don't really know what will come from Jordan Love and the Packers. I guess he could just come out of nowhere and be awesome, learning behind Aaron Rodgers for so many years, but I don't see that.
I do
Then
like
the
the tight end pick they
Bears,
made.
yes, I do too. The Bears, Justin Fields. I'm not, like I said last episode, I'm not super sold on Justin Fields. So I'm not the biggest fan of the Bears winning this division at the current moment. I know they did get DJ Moore. I'd love that acquisition for him, given Justin Fields another weapon with how bad the receiving core was last year, only having one guy that even got above 700 receiving yards in a season. That's just horribly sad. So, in my opinion, it's kind of between the Lions and the Vikings at this point. And I think that this could be the season that we see Kirk Cousins just completely fall off the ledge. I think that this is where we see the inevitable downhill slide of Kirk Cousins, and he just ascends completely into like Matt Ryan mediocrity. And
Matt Ryan
I
Purgatory.
think, yeah, and I think we could easily see the Lions with they have so many weapons. Jared Goff looked really good in that offense. Hendon Hooker potentially could be good. I don't know. I don't think we'll see him this year, but I don't think we really will need to. So, and I think that I really liked their draft. So I'm going to go with, at this current moment, I think the Lions are probably who I would say would be the best in the division.
Um, well, great minds do think alike. I actually think, based on last year's end of the season, their continued good drafts in the last 2 years, honestly, and ever since Dan Campbell's kind of gotten there, and the way that this team has kind of come together as a unit, I do think that the Lions are my top favorite for the North as of right now. Um, I honestly think the Packers they're the biggest question mark in the NFL at the moment, just because of the quarterback position. Um, but no, I agree with you. I think the Lions are uh, are the favorites in the NFC North as of right now in May.
Fair enough. See, well, we're 1 for 1 for agreeing, so we'll see. We'll see how many we agree on. Moving right on to the NFC East, the beasts of the East. Um, right now, it's hard to make an argument for any team, unfortunately, other than the Eagles in this division. Um, I mean, they have the best receiving core, they have the best O line, they have the best D line. I would probably take Dak Prescott, but most people would probably take Jalen Hurts. So they have they you could say they can make an argument for they have the best quarterback. So it's hard to pick any other team besides the Eagles in this division right now.
Based on just them getting good players and plugging them in and going, that being either in free agency and trade and draft, that defense has just gotten even nastier. Their offense is coming back with honestly some solid pickups. Uh, I think everybody was shocked that they didn't get Bijan, but I feel like it would have been unfair if they did.
Yeah,
um,
that would have been too OP.
it would have been OP. But I do like the Eagles in that division as well. It's boring. It's kind of it's easy to say that the Eagles are going to repeat. Um,
Yeah.
because you said you'd rather go Dak Prescott. Man can't not throw interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to get that together if they're gonna have any hope of winning this
Any
division.
hope, any hope. And like last year, their defense carried that team, honestly, because Dak kept throwing away games. It was insane. Micah Parsons put his backpack on and said, "Hop in, I got us." Uh,
Oh yeah,
I do think that that division's going to be a little bit more. It was competitive last year. You had three teams out of that division, which was insane.
in
Uh,
the playoffs. Yeah.
in the playoffs, you had the number one overall seed. It's easy to say the Eagles. I'm going to change it and say the Cowboys
Okay.
to be different. And the reason why I say that,
I like it.
the reason why I say that is because this would be the most Eagles. This would be the most NFC East thing that some random team, not even a random team, just one of the other teams that isn't like the outright favorite to win the division again is going to do it because that's what happens in the NFC East. Someone's just going to come out and do it. That
Yeah.
division always forever changing at the top. Um,
Yeah.
so and it's the NFL.
Football
Things
team,
change.
Commanders, Redskins.
Who's their
Any
quarterback?
potential for them?
Who's their quarterback? The quarterback?
I don't know. Is it going to be Sam Howell?
It's going to be Sam Howell at the moment.
Oh Lord.
Um, yeah. So I mean, I'm not gonna say he's not got a chance, but I'm not saying he has a chance.
That's
Uh,
fair. That's a
so I'm gonna
good.
go Cowboys. I think
Okay.
honestly here, I'm saying Cowboys because Zeke's not on the team, so they don't have to get the fat boy Zeke.
Yeah, they have an uptick for that for sure.
He's
But
still free agent
never
for a reason.
never forget his last play was as a center.
Uh,
All right, so moving right along, let's go with the NFC South next. This is probably in contention with the AFC South for being the worst division in the NFL.
maybe not for long.
Um, maybe not. Some new quarterbacks in the AFC South. Um, I I guess I gotta go. Man,
If you need a second to think, I got mine.
you go for it, dude.
Carolina,
Carolina?
Carolina. I'm going
Why?
Panthers. Panthers all
So
day.
you just think Bryce Young is elite year one?
I don't think he has to be elite. I think they put enough weapons around him where they could uh control. They were fighting for that division with
What are those weapons exactly?
Adam Thielen, and that might be it. But hey, we're here.
It's a lot
So
of belief in Adam Grandpa Thielen.
he's not a grandpa. He's solid. Give him some love. I mean,
All right, well,
here's the
I
thing.
respect the pick, the
They
off the wall pick, but
all right. Let's go. Let's hold a second here. Okay, Miles Sanders. They got DJ Chark. They still have Laviska Shenault. They got picked up Adam Thielen. They added Hayden Hurst. They kept adding. That's about it. Their defense. I still like it. I think that they were competing for the division with the team they had last year with Sam Darnold for a little bit there. Now, was it a
yeah,
great pick, like a great fight for the division? Not necessarily. I mean, your best player, honestly, last year, off and on last year, was 100% Deontay Foreman.
yeah, they're a scrappy team. I'll give them that.
I love their defense. Brian Burns, Gross
Brian Burns is a
Matos,
beast.
Derek Brown, Shaq Thompson, who I think is a very underrated linebacker. I still love their cornerback room with Dante Jackson. They still have J.C. Horn. They have C.J. Henderson. Uh, and you can't forget about Jeremy Chin, one of the most underrated safeties in the league. I like their team. They went and picked up Von Bell. That's another good strong safety. I'm not saying he's great, but he's solid. Uh, their
They made
draft
some
was
moves.
they went and picked up Jonathan Mingo. I'm not saying he's going to be a world beater. I'm not, but I would have
Yeah,
loved him as a Titan because we
it's
needed a
it's not
receiver.
it's not that far fetched of a take as I make it out to be. I just I don't I would be super surprised when here's a trivia that I don't know the answer to. So
Oh
we may have to
God,
look it up. When's the last time a rookie quarterback started day one and won their division? Do 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 do
are you going to look it up or
do.
do I need to look?
I was hoping that maybe you just know
Oh,
it.
okay. Well, I mean, I'm good, but I'm not that good.
um, Andrew
Here,
Luck,
probably. Oh, actually, it might have been RG3 too.
RG3.
Maybe. I'm looking.
All right. While you're looking, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my take for that division. Um, I gotta go with the Saints. They're the only team in this division that honestly made win now moves. Bringing in a veteran quarterback in Derek Carr. They already had a pretty good roster. Michael Thomas, Chris Olave. I think that they honestly are well rounded enough to win this division. They have the pieces needed to at least beat their opponents within their division. And if you can do that consistently enough, you're going to win the division. So I I don't see a world right now in May where the Saints, it would be a supreme disappointment if the Saints did not win their division. With how bad their division is, with bringing in Derek Carr and you know giving him all that money, I've got to go with the Saints currently.
They have a Super Bowl defense, even though they're getting old.
They do. Did you
I
find the
I
last rookie quarterback to win their division?
I have not, because
All right.
anytime I've looked up anything, it just talks about
Well,
playoff wins.
that's all right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna clip it, and this is gonna be our first TikTok. And the person who comments first wins
What did they
and gets
win?
it correct. They win. They get to be the winner of our first TikTok contest. That's enough prize as it is.
Alrighty.
But my guess, I'll look it up later, maybe before we end. My guess is Andrew Luck,
It's
honestly.
not a bad guess. Um,
But maybe someone more recently. I'm trying to think of like. By the way, the Celtics are just smashing the 76ers.
let's
Um,
go.
so I'm gonna go with Andrew Luck. Let's see. Trevor Lawrence, no. Tua,
I don't remember if
no.
RG3 won that division, but I know he went off that year.
Part of me thinks it's not that long ago, but that's not a bad. That would have been. He was the same draft as Andrew Luck, right?
Yeah.
Two rookie quarterbacks winning their divisions in the same year. I don't think I remember hearing about that. That would have been wild.
It would have been kind of crazy. Um, I mean, both of them were on like meteoric rises at that time, so it's
Yeah.
very possible.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll figure that out later. Moving right along to the NFC West, or as I like to call it, the home of the worst roster in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. Um, I mean, I guess this division is kind of at this moment a little bit up in the air as to we don't know what's going on with the quarterback situation in San Francisco because I think obviously they're well rounded enough, have all of the talent in the world to win that division, but we don't really know what's going on with Trey Lance if he's going to be healthy enough to be their starting quarterback. It's looking like Sam Darnold is going to start the year for them. And if Sam Darnold's your quarterback for too long, I can't pick you to be what I think is going to be a division winner. So I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. I love their first round pick within Jigba. He is going to be a great slot receiver day one for them. They are in contention for the best receiving core in the NFL with Lockett and Metcalf and him. And Gino played great last year. No reason to think that
Kenneth Walker.
he won't. Yep. And they have Kenneth Walker. They also took a running back in the second round that they're high on. So they could have a two-headed running back attack. So I mean, Seahawks are looking up. right now. So I'm going to go with them at the current moment because I don't know what's really going on with the quarterback situation in Sanford.
Plus, I love their corners. Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon. Big fan of his
Oh yeah.
coming their first pick, like you said. That second first pick. They had two in the first round. Um,
Yep.
it's hard not to go with Seattle, but I also don't think that Sam Darnold's actually going to be starting. I think it's going to be Trey Lance. I think I saw a report saying that he's coming back, or he got cleared to do something. I think he might be back at the beginning of the season. Even if he's not, you could throw him out
Yeah.
there at some point. Um, just don't lose them games. And I like their defense. Their defense is still cold.
Yeah.
Um,
Their defense is good enough to win games with Sam Darnold.
it is. So I'm gonna go with the Niners, even though they didn't have a pick until the third round.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they have Christian McCaffrey now, so I guess they didn't want one.
that's true, and I understand why you would want that. Plus, also you took a kicker in the third round too. Uh,
Hey, that's another one of my big takes. Kicker is one of the most important positions on the team. Games are won and lost because of the kicker. It go most important positions: quarterback, backup quarterback, tackle, receiver, pass rusher, then kicker. So kicker's up there.
kicker people too.
So they are. All right, so you're on 49ers. I'm on Seahawks. All right, that's our NFC. Switching over to the AFC. We'll start in the North again. Do you
All
want to go
right.
first with the AFC North?
Yeah, I'm gonna say my favorite is Cincinnati. It's hard to bet against uh, Joe Burrow, Joey B. Uh, as I keep calling him for no other reason, just the fact that I like it too.
It's a good nickname.
It is a good
I like
nickname.
it.
Uh, I like their team. They're as long as he's there and he's healthy, and they still have Jamar Chase to throw to or some kind of receivers to throw to, which they have a very good receiving core. Um, I like them. I think that they're solid. I think they're building around that defense even more. Uh, it's gonna be a tougher division than I think people even me are giving it credit for because that once again that's the division that's always kind of sneaky decent. I also didn't mind the Miles Murphy pick because I don't think he has to start right away. They have Sam Hubbard, they have uh, Hutchinson, Hendrickson, whatever the pass rusher
Aiden
is.
Hutchinson. Yep.
No, that's not Aiden Hutchinson. He plays for the Lions.
Nope. Aiden Hutchinson.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm not too
Trey
sure who you're talking
Hendrickson. Trey
about.
Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson,
Hendrickson. Yes, that's who it is.
who is a solid pass rusher. Um, so I like their team. There's a solid team. I think that they're going to win that because I don't trust Lamar. I don't trust Kenny Pickett, and Lord knows what's going to happen to Deshaun Watson this next year. So Cleveland's got the talent, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, they do. It does depend a lot on Deshaun Watson with him. I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens, and here's why. I think that Lamar is going to come out and he is going to be a man on a mission. I think that he did not like catching a lot of hate this offseason because of all of his contract stuff. And they finally got it done. And he seems happy to be there, as he should. He got literally a boatload of money, the most money ever. So I think Lamar is going to come out and be an absolute maniac, man on a mission. And I could definitely see the Baltimore Ravens winning that division. They got an upgraded receiver in the first round. They got OBJ. I speaking of Zay Flowers, the first round pick, I was really big on. I thought that he could potentially be the first receiver taken in the draft. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with them. What is your opinion on the Ravens winning that division?
Uh, solid team. Definitely going to be a toss up between the two of them, like it kind of was last year for a little bit before the Bengals pulled away on that big winning streak. Because the Bengals kind of struggled to start
Yeah,
off the season. Um, so it's not a off the beat kind of thing. Um,
yeah,
not that I trust Kenny Pickett, but I like Mike Tomlin. I do think that we're kind of sleeping on the Steelers still.
yeah.
Mike Tomlin just wins football games. That's what he does.
He does. There's no doubt about that. But I'm not very sold on Kenny Pickett yet, so he's gonna have to show me something before I pick them to win the division.
I completely
Uh,
agree.
all right, AFC East. This is the the division now. Like this is like in contention with the AFC West is like best division.
This is the AFC West from last year. All the hype's
Yeah,
going to go just straight to the AFC East.
exactly. You got Josh Allen. You got Tua. Aaron Rodgers is there. Mac Jones is also there.
I hate you.
We so I still am a firm believer in the Buffalo Bills. I think Josh Allen. I think if Patrick Mahomes wasn't currently in the NFL, Josh Allen would be like the next what people are saying is Aaron Rodgers, like like one of the best throwers of the football that we've ever seen. So, and he's still gonna have Steph Diggs, Gabe Davis. They got Dalton Kincaid now, who a lot of people are high on as a tight end prospect. So I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills.
They also got, in my opinion, the best day one ready guard in Torrance in the second round, which I thought was a steal, by the way.
Yep. Yeah.
Just had to add
A
that
lot of
tidbit.
people were really high on that pick.
I I thought he was going to fall in this. I thought he was going to be a first round pick even as a guard. Um,
Yeah.
I'm going to go. Man, when I say it's like the AFC West of last year, I do really believe that because I think the AFC West disappointed because I think everybody thought every team's got a chance to win a division. In all honesty, it was still the Chiefs division. I agree
Yeah.
with you on the Bills. I think it's still the Bills division to win. I just think we're going to get three teams out of this division in the playoffs. That's
Yeah.
all.
You think
I think it's
so?
gonna be that. I think it's gonna be that competitive. I think it has the
Bills,
potential.
Dolphins, Jets in the playoffs.
Yes, and the Patriots are just sitting there. But then again, the Patriots it would be the best. It'd be the most Patriot thing to do to win that division. Not win it, but like be like a contender.
Yeah, that's true. They won enough. Their time came and went.
Yeah, they're like, all right, guys, we'll just sit here and wait. It's okay.
Yeah. They should just bide their time, move on. All right. Here we are. We've arrived at the AFC South, our division of our teams. I'll let you go ahead and go first, DJ. Are you going to pick your Tennessee Titans?
I am not gonna pick my Tennessee Titans. Not that I think we're gonna be bad. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to
Yeah.
do it. Don't make me do it. Uh, It's kind of hard not to pull the
Contemplating
trigger. It's I'm gonna do it. It's my hot take of the day. It's my first hot take probably of the podcast. I'm saying the Houston Texans.
the Houston Texans.
I think CJ Stroud's gonna go in and I think the Houston Texans have a chance to turn it around if they get, you know, what they need out of CJ and I don't think this division's that good just yet. And I do not trust the Jaguars. And I'm not saying it's highly possible, but I'm gonna say I like the Texans to have a chance to go. This is my favorite team to go worst to first in the division
Yeah,
because of what
worst
they
to
did.
first.
Yes, I
Yeah,
don't
I
think their team's
mean,
that good, but I don't think the
you
AFC
got
South's still that
you got Mechie coming back.
good. Hmm.
You got Stroud there now, Anderson there now, obviously. So they've added a lot of talent in this offseason.
Still have Pierce.
So, yep. I I mean, it's not that outlandish, but I mean,
Was
yeah.
it worth the laugh
Actually,
track?
actually it is. Yeah, no, you're right. It is pretty outlandish. Um I'm not I'm not there on the Houston Texans, but I respect the pick. I like the bold. You you had a take. You were 10 toes down on that take. I respect that.
I might be
Um
completely wrong, and you know what? That's cool. You can make fun of me in the comments, but I still don't think it's that off base. I think their defense is
no,
starting to put things
definitely not.
together. They have a defensive coach now. I like some of the defensive young guys they had last year. They added a couple more guys this year. Not saying they're like world beaters. I think Will Anderson has a chance to be very good. Could be a legitimate pass rusher coming off the edge. I don't mind their linebacking core. I don't mind their front. I like the Dalton Schultz pickup. They still have Larry Tunsil, who they're paying a crap ton of money to be a really good tackle. They have Shaq Mason. They have Green from A&M, who was a
Yep.
rookie last year. Uh, Receiver, like you said, John Mechie, you were saying, you alluded to earlier. Nico Collins, who's underrated. And I do like Damian Pierce a lot. And they went and added Devin Singletary, so it's going to be a running back by committee. Not that Devin Singletary is amazing. I honestly think if CJ Stroud stays healthy and makes the right decisions and passes like I think he can, I think that they have a chance to win the division. Not saying it's a high one, but I'm putting it out on a limb. We're out here.
There you go.
We're heart on the sleeve. We're doing it.
Exactly.
We're out here.
Feelings
Roast me.
over facts. There's no facts out there you're going to find that are going to tell you the Houston Texans are going to win the division. But here you are.
Here I am.
I'm there with you. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm going to go with.
Swear if you say the Colts.
I'm not going Colts. I'm not going Texans or Titans. I'm going to go with the Jags. I think Trevor Lawrence ascended. What's that look?
Where's the boo track? I need a track of my own. I need to boo. You're boring. Boo.
I need to add that one in there. I'm sure I can find one. Yeah, the reasoning behind it is pretty obvious. Trevor Lawrence is ascending. He ascended last year, and right at the end of the year, they got hot, and they even won a playoff game somehow. I still do not know how the Chargers choked that one away.
Because the Chargers coach is a knobhead. He needs to be fired. How is he still there?
I don't know how he's still employed. That's a marvel.
The analytics told them to keep him.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, Etienne, they still have him. Calvin Ridley is going to be now on that team. Their receiving core, if you look at it from top to bottom, is probably a top 7-8 receiving core in the NFL. Like I said, they still have Etienne. Trevor Lawrence is getting better and better each year. I think that the Jags, I think they're favored in this division, and it's rightfully so. Right now at this moment in time, it's hard for me to see any of these other three teams with a rookie quarterback winning the division. So I'm going to go with the Jags.
Listen, we all know that Levis is not starting, so you could say rookie quarterback, but we all know it's Tannehill. But
you don't think that Levis is going to be starting at some point next season?
If he does, then Tannehill's hurt, and that's bad. Or we've given up on the season already, so it doesn't really matter. Which teams don't say that they do that, but we all know they do. We all know they do. Come on now, let's not act naive
is
here.
Real. It's true.
But like going on to you talk about the receiving core, Kirk, they have Zay Jones, who's very underrated. They have Calvin Ridley. Kind of a resurgence last year with Evan Ingram. I like Etienne. Their O-line's going to be interesting, especially they're losing Cam Robinson for a suspension with PEDs. It's not a bad take. Obviously, I think that they are going to be the favorite coming out of camp. People will probably look at them as the outright, especially how they ended the year last year. They went on that big old streak, and the Titans went down, and they were going up.
Yeah.
Now I just don't trust Jaguars. It's all it is.
It's fair.
I've seen it.
An organization that can't be trusted recently.
It exactly. I mean, they haven't won back-to-back division titles, and I remember seeing the stat, but I don't remember what the stat actually was. It's been ridiculously long. Or I don't think they may not have ever done it. I couldn't tell you exactly because it's been that long. I mean,
yeah.
So it's not a hot take. It's not my hot take. I know my take is hot. That's why I said it. But
I like it. All right.
Here we are.
AFC West, last division.
Can we just both say Chiefs at the same time? Because if you say someone else, then I'm saying that's your hot take.
All right. We'll say Chiefs on 3. Ready? One, two,
three. Chiefs.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Oh, hey, there we go. Yes. All right, take the floor.
All right.
Do you believe in Sean Payton?
Last year was an anomaly.
Okay.
Russell Wilson has been a great quarterback his entire career. He has been a top 10 quarterback ever since year 2. Like, if you look at his stats, you look at his production, his playoff performances, he's been a great
He started right out as a rookie.
Yeah, but he wasn't. I wouldn't say he was great his rookie year. Not statistically, at least.
I mean, all he had to beat out was Matt
Um,
Flynn, so it's not like it was that hard.
that's true. Uh, but I love their. I don't think they should trade Cortland Sutton or Jerry Judy. I really like their receiving core at the current moment. I know that there's been
KJ
rumors
Hamler.
about them getting Hamler. I know there's been rumors about them getting rid of one of them, potentially both. I don't really understand that. I think that they're a good receiving core, and now bringing in a legit Super Bowl winning head coach who knows what he's doing is it's no Hackett anymore. I think that they really have. I know I'm not picking them to do anything probably postseason. I don't I don't know about that, but I think that if I'm going to go with a long shot to win a division, the Broncos, I see a world where that happens.
I still think their defense is pretty solid too. I like
Yep.
their secondary pretty well still. I think Patrick Surtain has worked out very well since he's gotten into the league. If he stays healthy, I think he'll have another good year. Um, they did. They still have Justin Simmons. Their D line did take a hit last year, obviously with trading Chubb away,
Yeah.
Bradley Chubb, which you
Right.
knew was going to. Um,
Yeah.
but I like their free agent acquisition of Mike McGlinchey. I think he's a solid right tackle. They have Garrett Bowles on the other side who loves to hold, but I mean, hey, it's football.
Happens.
It
Yeah.
does. I do like their receiving core. I like their tight ends. They do kind of tight end by committee, but it worked out last year for
Dolchich is good.
yes, he
Dolchich
is.
is a legit tight end.
And they still have Albert O from a couple of years ago, and Troutman's
Yeah.
not
I
bad
think
either.
Dolchich has surpassed him as their tight end,
I would
first tight
agree.
end at this point.
I agree. I agree. But it's not a hot take. I just don't think that they can get past Patty. Patty
You don't
Ketchup.
think? Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's just been he's had a legendary career so far,
Also, let's not
and it's
forget that
hard to see a world where it doesn't continue to be that. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm going with I like the Broncos. I have the right to change my mind.
yeah, this
But
is May.
as of right now in May,
This
Broncos
is not us
country, let's
making our
ride.
division picks. By the way, this is just us talking in May.
Oh yeah,
By the way, another side note talking about receiving core, I did not mind the pick of them taking Marvin Mims. I did like that one.
yes, Marvin. I drafted him in a dynasty league last week, and
Ooh,
I'm a big fan of his. I think
context.
he could be
Context.
something. Yeah. So you're
Well,
going
there you go.
Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, there's no. I'm not talking deeply about it. I think that team's just
That's
going to
fair.
keep getting better.
No, I understand. All right. There's our NFL futures. We went through every division. You're welcome, America. Um, TJ, 9 out of 10 segment again. We're destroying it. All right,
Consistent.
we're gonna indeed. All right, here we go. Boom.
Dang, not 7 or 8 of them.
Yep. I'm getting host and producer over here on the buttons. Um,
On the P's and
so
Q's.
we're gonna wrap up with some NBA playoff talk. So, DJ, I want to
That
get some of your reactions to the NBA playoffs thus far. Specifically, the first round, as it has concluded. We're still in the second round at this current moment. So, what surprised you about the first round? What do you think happened that you saw that come in? Um, sorry, fixing the focus on my camera there.
focus on that pretty
Uh,
mug.
oh yeah,
So
take it away.
surprises. I think the easiest one is the Bucks getting knocked out in the first round. Giannis going down obviously didn't help, but we have to give our roses to Jimmy, playoff Jimmy Butler. I mean, the guy is before he rolled his ankle here in the first round against the Knicks. The man was playing out of his mind. He's looking like Bubble Jimmy again. The guy, when he is on his game, he is on his game, and he's playing very well. And I'm a fan because he's kind of a two-way player. And what's not to like a guy who just kind of goes out there and is kind of a little bit of a savage, who also might be related to Michael Jordan, as everybody has this
Michael
theory.
Jordan's son.
It might be
It's
Michael
a
Jordan's
thing.
son. Hey, it
I
is.
don't see how more people are on this. He looks
I
exactly like him. Freaking plays like him.
Does he look like him?
What's that face?
I don't think he looks like him.
Yeah, his face, man. He's got this very similar facial structure.
I'll let you be the judge of that one, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, give the credit to the Heat. Um, big. I think they have done a very good job with putting together a roster that compete, and they're a very dangerous 8 seed. And I don't think anybody wants to see them if they get out of this battle with the Knicks. That's going to be a problem
Yeah.
for whoever meets them in
The
the Eastern Conference
East
Finals.
was looking so tough the entire regular season, and now Tyler Hero goes down, Victor Oladipo goes down. I still like the Heat. I like your point of them being a dangerous 8 seed, but they're a lot less scary without those guys. Joel Embiid is in and out right now. It's looking like he's back and healthy. Um,
It's not helping very well
the
right now.
this Yeah, exactly. Celtics are destroying them. Um, the Celtics were, coming into the playoffs looking like potentially outside of the Bucks, the best team in the East, and they did not dispatch of the Hawks in any convincing manner. Taking them to 6 games, that was very surprising to me. I thought that one would be a sweep for sure. And Trey Young gave them all they wanted.
And more.
But yes, exactly. But I guess at this point in the season, it's just about survive and advance. They did beat them. Losing game one at home to the 76ers,
Embarrassing.
very surprising to me.
Without
Um,
without Embiid, which is you have to
Without Embiid,
capitalize.
yeah, you have to win that game. Um, that was surprising. Let's see. Out west, I think that the most surprising look so far has been the Suns. I thought that the Suns looked really good with Durant in the regular season, and coming into the postseason, they never lost with them in the regular season, and then they
Hmm.
only lost one game in the series against the Clippers, the first game, and now they're down 0-2 to the Nuggets, and they are in a must-win game three against the Nuggets. If they don't win it, obviously they're down 3-0, and no team has ever come back from 3-0. So I would say it's very much a must-win.
Their saving grace is in Phoenix. Uh, they have a chance
Back at
to
home,
back at home.
supposedly a series doesn't start until a road team wins, which I don't really agree with that. You know,
I mean,
I think
technically,
it's a big deal that the Nuggets are up 2-0 on the Suns. I thought that the Suns were a better team, and they haven't looked like it thus far. So that's
I
been
think
super surprising.
I think what's killing the Suns is their depth. They traded all their depth away to get Durant, and I think that's why
Mhm.
a lot of people were super high on the Clippers to beat them. Is because now I say a lot of people. I was not one of them. I still thought the Suns were going to do it, and they did. Especially since
Yeah,
Kawhi's made of glass, almost as much, almost made of glass as AD is.
yeah,
Uh,
similar glass structures.
same glass makers. Um, but
Yep.
you have to give a lot of credit to Jokic. He's playing out of his mind, but also you have to give a lot of credit to Jamal Murray. He's looking like Bubble Murray. Like
He's playing
he was on.
well.
He's playing on a different level. This is what I think the Nuggets missed last year when he wasn't playing, and
Yeah.
he's a very important part of their team. Uh, I think the Nuggets still go to the Western Conference Finals. Now, I guess technically seed wise, if we're going on to the next West matchup, Lakers and the Warriors both were upsets. I don't see them
Yep.
as upsets. It's
No, me
two veteran
either.
teams playing against two
Especially
younger
the
teams.
Warriors.
Yeah, no.
Warriors, I think, were big favorites over the Kings, and that one's not surprising that they won. The Lakers, obviously, not surprising either, but they were less of a favorite. So yeah, I mean, I definitely thought I really thought the Kings had a chance to beat the Warriors for sure, but didn't
Yeah,
happen.
you
So
did.
we get I did. So
Light the
we
beam.
like the beam. Gosh dang it. So we get We get LeBron versus Curry
Again.
round fifth time they've matched up in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure the first four were all in the NBA Finals. This is the fifth. Yes, it is. It is the fifth because Curry has won three and LeBron has won one. So that would make it the fifth. So I was gonna pose this question, and I have my thoughts, but I want to hear yours as well. If Curry is able to get past LeBron, and we'll say that they make it to the NBA Finals and win again this year, that would give Curry 5 rings. Do you think that puts Steph Curry on the Mount Rushmore of basketball? Do you think it puts him up there alongside, in my opinion, LeBron, MJ, and Kareem?
That's a tough group to get into because if we're looking at just like all those players have done something to generationally change the game of basketball. And I agree that Steph Curry has also done that. Can I put him in front of one of those guys? And in my opinion, no offense towards Magic, I put Kobe in front of Magic. Can
Fair
I put
enough.
him? Can I put him in front of Kareem? Can I put Steph in front of Kareem? I
You're
think I might.
putting you're putting Kobe ahead of Kareem.
Yeah. No offense
Really?
towards Kareem. That's just my opinion. Kareem's an all-time great. I'm not saying he's not. This is not what we're saying. I'm saying that it's a tough conversation to take one of those guys out because you're taking it out one of the all-time greats. Everybody you just named, 100% top 10 player in the NBA of all time, and it will always be, in my opinion.
For sure.
No matter how long, how many years of basketball continue. Uh, but my, I would put him in. I would put him in there. He's the greatest shooter of all time. The
You put
guys
him in the top four?
I would have to. I feel like if he wins this title, man, you can almost put him in there without having to. You have 5 rings. It's hard not to put you in there. Now, will he win another one? It doesn't really matter. But he's. I think he might catch LeBron at some point for points if he keeps playing like this. He has a chance. I don't know
I
if
don't
it's
know
actually
about that one.
he
He's
might.
still a long ways
He is a
off.
long way away, but I'm saying like if he shoots like as well as he does and stays around as long as LeBron does or did or continues to do, like we don't know how long Steph's got left,
That's true.
and he's not showing any signs of slowing down. That's what
Not
I'm
at all.
saying. I'm not saying it's actually possible, but I mean he could get close. I think he
Yeah,
might be.
he could.
I think he might be the only guy that might be able to get
If he
close to it.
got if he got up to most points all time, there would be no undoubtedly top four Mount Rushmore of basketball. I think at this current moment, I would have him right in the same category. I don't have him ahead of Magic. I think right now my Mount Rushmore: LeBron, MJ, Kareem, Magic at the top. Um, the first three, LeBron, MJ, Kareem, undoubted top three in my opinion. Whenever you look at their careers as a whole, the All NBA teams, the MVPs, the championships,
Where's Kobe on
and
that list for
then
you, by the way?
Kobe is right in the same category as I put him in there with Bird, with Shaq, with Duncan, and I think that is the group that Curry is currently in right now. And I think with another championship, he's starting to the way that he's changed basketball and the impact on basketball in general that he's had. He's starting to approach Magic Johnson levels. I know that's like crazy, but like
It's not as far fetched as you're saying it is, because I already put him in there for me personally, and I like I say that I put Kobe in there because Kobe I feel he is generational, and it's hard not to put him in the top 4. That's my personal opinion. But
He's a top four iconic player. But when you look at his career as a whole, I don't think he quite stacks up to the top guys.
I mean, he'd have just as many rings as Kobe. So if it's ring count, it's
Yep.
different. But
Right.
that's not what we're doing here. We're doing just all together everything. It's hard not to put Steph in there. Me personally.
Yeah. Yeah, if he gets another one, he's making it difficult to not start putting him up there. And if he gets six, it's like, all right, we're actually gonna start debating Steph Curry with LeBron and MJ as the GOAT. But that's still several years away. I don't want to engage in that blasphemy. Um,
And that's fair.
so yeah, but I'm excited for the rest of their series. I've got the Lakers winning it. I don't think that the why are you shaking your head?
I already knew that
Does
was
your
the answer. It's not that I'm disagreeing with you. I'm shaking my head because I already knew that's what you're gonna say, and it's
I
only
don't think the
because.
Warriors have an answer
Wait, are you
for
saying? Wait,
Anthony Davis.
Are you saying the Lakers are gonna win the series, or are you gonna say they're winning the finals?
I've got the
See, I
I
will
don't
take my head shake back if you're saying the series.
I've got them winning the series for sure.
Okay,
I'm still
okay.
undecided if I really think they're going to win the
I
title at
take my
this
head
current
shake
moment.
back. I apologize. Sorry for my
Okay.
sass.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I think that the Warriors don't have an inside presence that can guard AD. I think he's just going to eat this entire series, and we're going to see just like Game 1, like Wilt Chamberlain numbers from AD 30, 25 blocks. Like he's just going to destroy inside. So I got the Lakers in this one.
The
What about
thing,
you?
so it's a heavyweight fight, but I see the flaws of both teams. There are some big noticeable flaws. Do I think that either of these teams can win a finals? I honestly don't think so. I think the winner of this plays the Nuggets as of right now. That's who I have in the Western Conference Finals. The winner of this one, who I'm gonna say is the Lakers, and I think the Lakers end up losing to the Nuggets because I think it's kind of like a passing of the torch. Like Jokic is finally gonna get them over the hump just based on how he's playing, and with Jamal Murray back, this is the time to do it. Um, I
Let's
don't
go
this
right into it. Who do you have making it to the finals and winning? We'll go ahead and go over our finals prediction.
finals prediction: Celtics, Nuggets. Celtics win.
Celtics win. Tatum gets his first ring. I like to see it. I like Tatum. I think he's a good
I love
guy. He's a
Jalen.
great player.
Love Jalen Brown
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
They've constructed that team well. I like the Derek White and the Malcolm
The
Brogdon.
deepest team for sure.
They are, and I think that matters in the postseason. And I
It
also
does.
think this is the time to strike now because everybody keeps talking about us trading Jalen Brown, and I am a Celtics fan. That's why I say us. Uh, he
Yeah.
and I think if we don't now, then when's the best? Like you're gonna have to get another superstar eventually, or Jason Tatum's gonna eventually leave probably, or he might
Right.
not. I might be just talking out my butt right now, but let's be honest. Like this is the time. We last year you probably no one really expected you to make it, but we made it. I don't know, maybe I didn't expect us to make it. I was like, oh, we got really hot after the All Star break, and we were the hottest team in the NBA. But I just expected it to dip at some point, which it didn't, which was
Yeah.
great. I don't. I feel like we're battle tested. That means that we could fight. We could fight in a series where it's going to be tough, which I think we're in a series is going to be tough. Embiid
Yeah.
gets healthier, and he's going to take over a game every once in a while. Can you respond? Harden ate in game one. That's the main reason why they won that game. We couldn't stop Harden. It's not going to be easy. This is going to be a tough series. I think it goes seven, and then it's not going to be easy series. Whoever we play between the Knicks and the Heat, and I think I got the Knicks winning that one because I think Jimmy B being out, even though they don't play again until Saturday, which gives Jimmy B time to recover. I like the Knicks because I think that as a team, I see them being able to pull it together at some point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure. I think I've got the Knicks in that one as well. My finals prediction, I made it a while ago, so I'm gonna stick with it. I guess I'll have to change one team, or I don't have to change one team actually. I have the Suns beating the 76ers in the finals. I know it's looking grim for the Suns right now, but I still think, all things considered, they do have the best starting five out of any team remaining in the playoffs. Um, I think Kevin Durant is gonna pick it up and he's gonna go man on a mission mode and just he need for his legacy purposes for him to start getting close to that top 15 area. He needs a ring without Curry. I think that would really solidify. I think he's already, a made man. He won rings, whatever. So I think that the Suns are going to pick it up. I do think that they'll bring it back in this series and advance over the Nuggets, and then it's going to be an all-out battle between the Lakers and the Suns in that, and I've got the Suns probably in 7, so I'll have home court advantage winning that one. And then I just think that the 76ers, Joel Embiid, similar to Kevin Durant, now that he's won an MVP, fun fact, DJ, Joel Embiid is the only MVP to have never even made it out of the second round. There's been MVPs that have not won a championship, not made it to a championship. He's the only MVP ever now to not even make it out of the second round. So I think that he knows that and that he wants to win this one. And I think that it'll be Suns over the 76ers in the NBA Finals. That is our predictions for the rest of the NBA Finals. And that concludes all of our topics for this podcast. DJ, this has been wonderful. Episode 2. We've been killing it this whole time.
Empire Strikes Back, episode 2. Technically, episode 5.
Sure.
We're talking about Star Wars.
I was about to say episode 5, kind of.
It's the second movie ever made. That's what we're doing.
Just true. Greatest sequel of all time.
Agreed.
Potentially.
No, agreed.
Oh, agreed. Wow.
Agreed.
Okay. Just straight to agreed on that one. All right.
It's agreed. Yep.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Let's dive into our feelings of the week before we go. DJ, I will let you start. What is your feeling since this is the Feelings Over Facts podcast?
My feelings for the week. If you're not a fan of hockey, check out the NHL playoffs. They're a boatload of fun, high intensity, high impact. You can see hits. You won't see many fights because it's important hockey, but if you want to talk about some entertainment value, you need to watch the NHL playoffs. It's the second round for them. We really didn't touch on them today, but I felt like we needed to hit on it a little bit. The NHL playoffs, highly recommend. Great time if you're a sports fan.
For sure. That's a great feeling. Hockey games are, and this is probably debatable, hockey games might be the best in-person game atmosphere out of all of the major sports to go to. Especially since we're both from Nashville Predator games especially. I think it's up for debate, but I don't know if there's a better atmosphere to see a game than a hockey game.
Especially the playoffs.
Yes, exactly. I've yet to go to a playoff game, but I really want to, for sure.
Same.
All right. My feelings. What is my feeling of the week? Man, this is like right now is such a great time, underrated time in sports. The NFL draft, the NBA playoffs. You have, baseball is happening, I guess.
Baseball's there.
And the NHL playoffs. So, what my feeling is going to be is exactly, Premier League. It's coming to a conclusion. My feeling is that early May is the best time of the year for sports. Hate on me for it, but that's my feeling. That's what I'm going to leave it with. What do you think about that?
Just going to let that sit for you for a second.
Just going to let that one sit?
Just let it sit.
That's fair. That's a fair thing to sit on. All right, for the Feelings Over Facts podcast, I am Zach Simmons. He is DJ Daniel Jones. Thanks for joining us. Anything to say as we close, DJ?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Give us 5-star reviews.
Yes, we need the reviews. Thank you all for watching.
Comment, ask questions.
Yes. Look for our first TikTok contest coming soon to answer that question. All right, DJ. This is wonderful. Bye, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening. Morning.